Hello, this is Con Emmanuel with another video demo. This one is in a few parts. I want to show you how to scan large works of art as opposed to photographing them. For instance, if you had something like this painting, which look, it probably measures about 60 centimeters by 45 at a guess. So it's quite a large painting by one of our students, Anna, and obviously you can see behind there's an A4 scanner, and the scanner is much smaller than the artwork. So I want to demonstrate how you can scan a painting this size in a number of sections and then stitch it together in Photoshop. Now, the technique that I'm talking about is called Photomerge, and it's one of Photoshop's secret gems. So I've taken these photos just to show you how it might occur. You would obviously lift up the lid of the scanner. It's a flatbed scanner, and you would scan the painting upside down, of course, on the glass in a number of sections. Now, just to save time, I've done this already, and I'll show you the results in a minute. But let's just go ahead and look at the software that I used to scan this painting in a number of sections. So what I did, I basically went to a software called Image Capture. Now, even though it's an Epson scanner, Image Capture is very easy to use. So I'm going to place the painting on the scanner now. So you can't see this, but just trust me, the painting is now on the glass, and you can see my settings. I've got flatbed, color, millions of colors, 300 dots per inch, basically because I want the scan to be 100% to scale, and I always have auto selection off. I've got a folder on the desktop called ConScan, so that's where I want to save the work, and then you name the scan itself. You give it a name. JPEG is fine for what I'm about to do. Everything else is left on none. Click on Overview to get a preview of what's on the glass, and then you basically select the entire area of the glass with your mouse. You marquee the area, which is basically saying I want to scan everything that's visible on the glass, on the scanner, and then when you're happy with that, you click on Scan and you'll get your results. Now, I've already done this, so I'm going to show you how many different scans I chose to do. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a preview here. I scanned the painting within an inch of its life. I wanted to make sure that I gave Photoshop every chance to stitch this together. Photomerge is a process where the software tries to overlap related pixel areas. So the more information you give it, the better. So there's about 19 different scans that I had to create on an A4 flatbed scanner to use in Photoshop. So there they all are. They're nice and safe in a folder called ConScans. And now I can open up Photoshop, and this is where the magic takes place. Get ready. I'm just going to close some of these windows. There's layers. All right, so when you've got your scans and they're safely saved to a folder on the desktop, open up Photoshop. You go to File. Now watch carefully. You go down to Automate, and then you dart across to this beautiful word, Photomerge, and then you let go. And this will open up the Photomerge dialog box. Leave everything as it is. The auto function is what you want. Blend images together is correct. You then have to go and browse and find the scans that you had scanned from before. And these are the ones here. So I will select all of them, which is just Command A. Click on Open, and they appear on this list as the source files. There's 19 separate scans, and I want Photoshop to merge them together to create one composite image. Now this will take a little while, so bear with me. You click on OK, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. You just wait and watch. And right in front of your eyes, you'll see Photoshop thinking. It's creating a single layer for every scan, You can see that's happening as we speak. And as I mentioned earlier, it's going to do some algorithms with the pixels from every scan, and its job is to work out the relationship between every scan to create an overlap of pixels from edge to edge to create a composite image. Now, if you weren't using an A4 scanner, obviously it might require less scans. You know, we've got an A3 scanner at Preston, and you can probably get away with an artwork that measures about 60 centimeters by 45. You can probably get away with about 8 scans, really. But because I've got this large canvas and I've got a small A4 scanner, I thought I'll play it safe and just make sure I scanned every surface of the painting to give Photoshop a good chance of stitching it together. So now what it's doing, it's generating the output, and we should have something coming up, fingers crossed. Is this going to be a composite image that looks similar to the original canvas? It's quite remarkable technology. The simple truth is that I haven't touched anything other than click OK, and Photoshop is working it out for me. You'll see when this finishes that there might be a little bit of tweaking to be done. You may have to compromise the edge of the painting here and there, because sometimes, depending on how patient you are, it may not scan every bit of information. Now it's creating a layer mask. Here we go, the last stage, creating a seamless composition, and this is where you hope it can create a composite, and look at that. It's bloody amazing. It's pretty close to the original, and you might be thinking, oh my God, Con, what's going on? I can see cracks. And if I zoom in, they disappear, but they're not there. It's an optical illusion. Let me just show you how Photoshop does this. Now, it's quite remarkable. It actually creates these sort of jagged edged pixel alignments. I don't know how else to explain that, to create the entire picture. So don't be put off by that, and don't be put off by the cracks, because as soon as you flatten all the layers, what you can see there is, you know, fragment fine line cracks aren't really there. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's go to layer, and straight away let's flatten this image. All those layers are now compressed together as a single composite image, one layer, and the cracks disappear. All that remains now is to rotate the canvas 90 degrees clockwise. Thank you very much. And I reckon that's a bloody good result. I'm really happy with that. Yeah, look, that's fantastic. Sure, you can photograph a canvas, a work that is quite large. And depending if you've got the technology, otherwise, what I mean by that is a pretty good digital camera, and you've got good lighting, you understand focal length and all that, you'll get a good photograph. But if you can use this method of scanning a large work in sections, and there is a limit. If the canvas was way too big, I wouldn't bother with scanning. I'll just take a photograph. But I think I would probably go as large as a 60 centimeter by 45 centimeter work to scan, and otherwise it's just too big. It gets ridiculous. Now, it's also important to note that you can't scan everything. There's certain artworks that don't scan well. Anything that has a shiny reflective surface, glitter, gold leaf, you know, anything that kind of shines, forget it. And you don't want to scan things that leave a residue on the scanner, like pastel and that. So I'd avoid certain artworks, even oil paintings. You know, if they're thickly applied and you get this shiny kind of glossy result, they may not scan well at all. But this particular painting by Anna Denerva is the artist, and this is a self-portrait. This one actually came up pretty good. Now, what I'll do now just to finish off this process, and I hope you enjoyed that little demo, is I'm going to click on the cropping tool, and I would just simply make a executive decision to crop the painting so it doesn't have those ugly bits on the side. And you can see, look, it's not going to be a perfect crop because I will be compromising some of the background. If I spent more time, scanning more and more of the edge, I probably would have got a better result. But let's see, I'm happy with that. If I double click in the middle, Photoshop crops the image, and it's a nice, neat result. From here on, you can apply different Photoshop adjustment commands to brighten the image. Correcting color is also a complicated area. It's another tutorial altogether, but just for the layman, what I might do right now is go to adjustments and choose levels, and just eyeballing the screen, I might decide that it needs a little bit of brightening here, a little bit of darkening here. It's really subjective, and this is not by any means the most accurate way of doing it, but it's good for now. So I could say, look, I'm happy with that result, click OK, and then I would save this to my desktop as my scanned composite image, my final image, and I might just call it Anna Self-Portrait. Oops, how do you spell portrait? Portrait on the spot here. All right, and I'll just save that. I might save it as a Photoshop file, might save it as a JPEG, or even a TIFF. It depends on what I want to use it for. I'll leave it as a JPEG for now, and I'll just click on save. The highest quality always. Come on, mate, move. Jeez, it's slow. All right, come on. Must be a large file. Click OK. Yeah, sorry about this. This is a very slow computer. I don't think the file was that big. So just wait a second. It should save it. Click OK. Come on. Everyone's waiting. This is a bit embarrassing. The last part, and it hangs up. All right, it's saving. You can see 80%. Good. Now, in case you're wondering how big the scan is, I'm just going to go to image size. And look, it is a whopper. It's, pardon me, at 172 megabytes. That's huge. I got the dimensions wrong. It's actually bigger than I thought. It's 74 centimeters high by 59 centimeters wide. So it is a big canvas, and that's why it's taken a long time to generate the file. Obviously, it's great if you want to print something that big, but in the next part of this tutorial, part 2, I'll show you how to resize this for printing. All right, so I'm going to click OK here, or cancel, and I will stop this tutorial, which is part 1. So see you shortly.